2015 higher level MTW section A. First one up here is name the tool showing mortise gauge, used to mark two parallel lines, or you could put in marking mortise joints and tenons. List three safety rules that must be observed in the MTW classroom. So they're specific to there. Read and observe safety signage, instructions, wear PPE, that's personal protective equipment. Report all accidents, breaks and damages of equipment, tie up long hair, remove jewellery, any of these will do. 3 types of adhesive suitable, or glues suitable for gluing in the woodwork room. PVA, polyvinyl acetate, epoxy resin, contact glue, you could put in casing glue, animal glue, any of the rest of them would do. Then question 4, the diagram shows a cross section of a tree trunk, label A, B and C, bark, sapwood, heartwood. Then the trees, the leaves are shown here, name each tree. Sycamore, which looks like the maple, I don't know if they give you the marks if you put in maple. Birch, which has got the hanging catkins, hard enough to see the leaves, they're triangularish and jagged on the edge. The oak is the acorn, so that's a giveaway. Probably hard enough maybe to make out because there's a number of trees that have catkins. Anyway, 6, germination of seed, list each of the stages. So the radical is B, and the sapling is C, and the seed is the very first one. So the radical is the wee guy that comes out of the bottom of this here. So this is the guy, radical, actually growing. So 7, name the woodworking tool that's shown. Nail punch, driving nails and pins below the surface so they can be filled. Name 3 types of conversion, method of conversion, through and through, quarter or radial, and tangential saw. Any of them will do. Name the defect that's shown here in the bowl. So these black lines that are shown on it, they're spalted or spalting. Any of that there, it's just a spalt. Name the tool shown. Long nose pliers. Pliers would probably do, used for cutting wire maybe, or holding. Veneers are often used to create decorative embellishments. You can see in the picture here. What's the craft or technique called? It's marquetry is the name of the technique here is shown. Name suitable glues. Scotch glue would be a traditional one. PVA is probably the common one in the woodwork room. Contact glue is also used as well. Preservatives to prolong the lifespan of this Adirondack chair. It's shown here. It's like a rocker Adirondack. 3 methods of applying preservatives to wood to be used externally. Brush, you could dip it. Immersion's another word for dipping it. Spraying, you could vacuum treat it, or pressure treated timber as well too, so same thing. Graphic shows manufactured boards. It says name 5 types of manufactured board. Hard enough to see them, so it mightn't give you much of a clue of what's in there. But plywood, MDF is medium density fiberboard, chipboard, pine board or lamine board, orientated strand board, OSB board, hardboard, any of these ones, block board, any of the rest of them would do as well. 14, live center. Dead center is one which doesn't rotate. This one obviously rotates here. Outside calipers is for measuring the outside diameter, and the face shield or the face guard or whatever you want to call that there. The graphics shows a tenon, mortise and tenon joint. It just gets the marking out of a complete mortise and tenon. So here we go. So I'm just going to draw an end waist to start with. You would normally maybe in a practice joint you would have 2 pieces here, so somewhere about the middle I'm going to put a bit of a gap that's going to end up being waist. Make sure these lines that you're sketching here are vertical. You can use set squares for it too, by the way. If you want to have a square section here and maybe you're going to have 3 pieces maybe on one of these. So I don't really need them actually down that section, but it's handy to be able to see the kind of the idea of the 3 squares. So if I want to make my tenon up this side, I need the lines in the middle showing it, and then for the mortise I need one there. So I'll just remove that there now because I don't really need that, and that should more or less cover us here. And then I give my waistlines to start with. It looks a wee bit tight up there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it that's it, it'll do. It's good enough. don't have a lot of room to draw this, so hard enough to get nice lines on this here. It would be easier if there was 2 blocks of wood. So there's my tenon. There's, or sorry, my mortise the other side. This is my tenon here. I'm not going to put in end grain because it just cluster the drawing, I think, with a sketch, and put in all my waste. And sure, might as well put on a face side and face edge in this. And that there will do that. I know that. Get rid of those lines. That should look the part then. That's it. The letters EMC associated with drying of timber, seasoning, equilibrium, moisture content. EMC. Torsion or torque is the force that's applied here with the screwdriver. Sorry, torsion or torque. And one other force would be tension, shear, compression. I see some people mentioning frictional forces. I suppose maybe you could use that there as well too. The main ones are these here. Metal, often used wood. Identify the ferrous and non-ferrous. Common question. Ferrous is the ones that has iron, and the non-ferrous don't have iron, so they won't rust. So the only one that's in this here list that will rust is mild steel. Silver, lead, tin, aluminium won't rust. The tool shown is a mortiser. It's 2 specific precautions. I've given a few extra. Wear protective equipment, goggles, ear protection, etc. Keep your hands away from the cutting edge and ensure that the piece is held firmly. This section here, on the table here, that it's clamped in well. Another one that you could have is the arm has a tendency to fall down, so it could be secured back when it's not in use. Now, the last one. There's a bit of work in this one. It highlights that all material is 70 by 40 and the housing joints that go in here are 20 deep. Starting off with the sides, it gives us the length of the sides and the thickness, so obviously the width is 70 when it's given there at the start. The cross rails, now the cross rails are these guys heading across here. So the overall length is 800, but because of the 2 widths being 70, if you take 70 and 70 is 140, at least you have 660. But the tenons or the housings go in 20mm deep, so there's 2 of them, so that's 2 by 20 is 40, which brings it back up to 700mm. That's it there. The middle upright, this guy that's here, we can see that it's 300 plus 2 housings is 340. Then the feet are 350 each, and then we're missing the name down here, and there's obviously dowels and they're highlighted there. That's the 2015 MTW.